All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, and this one will do some updates from this week for The Walking Dead leading up to Season 9. This weekend, a reminder, Sunday night, tomorrow night, we have a preview special for The Walking Dead Season 9. And I think that one is featuring Yvette Nicole Brown. I don't think that Chris Hardwick returned in time or was kind of accepted back in time after that whole controversy that kind of came out about him and from his ex-girlfriend before, if you guys remember that. So that's all been cleared, but when they filmed this preview special that's going to be tomorrow night, I think it was filmed prior to all that being sorted out. But it will air tomorrow night, which is kind of fun, and it's always fun to see because usually they give us some kind of information about this upcoming season, which will be cool to see since it's one of the most anticipated seasons of The Walking Dead ever, since we just got to see what happens with those that are leaving, as we've done many videos talking about, so we won't really rehash here, but there is something coming up here that I have after this one about what Andrew Lincoln said and how he would basically prefer not to be killed off and prefer to leave. But we'll look at the quotes and read that through and then give our thoughts on that afterwards. But yeah, so it should be pretty good. If nothing else, at least we'll get, probably be like an hour of Talking Dead as per usual. And usually we get some, like a small teaser trailer or something like that as well too. Now it is kind of soon because we literally just got to see, SDCC with the full-length Walking Dead trailer. So don't expect to see too much tomorrow night in the preview special for Season 9. But it'll probably have something in it, so that'll be cool to see. And because it is, a season that's so up in the air with how it's going to go and who's going to survive and not, it may be one that you guys want to check out as per usual each year, that kind of deal. And of course, we'll give our thoughts on all the different clips. Probably have one for you guys Monday. Giving our thoughts on whatever they show us in the preview special and maybe a kind of review for the preview special if it is substantial, if it doesn't turn out to just be like a Talking Dead, like mini episode or something like that, which they kind of tend to do sometimes as well too. So the Andrew Lincoln quote, link will be in the description so you guys can check this one out from SDCC, which I didn't really see up until now. I'm not sure how I missed this one or if it was from afterwards, something that he had said here. But here's the quote. It says, the British actor teased at SDCC that there are ways Rick could survive and not be killed off. Lennie James, he says, quote, Lennie James is a perfect example of leaving without dying and doing rather well on it, he said. So there is that way, he teased. And then there is obviously the other way, which we've done quite a lot, he continued. Andrew's referring to characters being turned into walkers, which is something that many fans believe will happen. So just being killed off, right? And it says, quote, obviously, I'm not going to tell you which way Rick goes out. I mean, I prefer the Lennie James of it all. So it sounds like he would prefer to go out with the leaving approach if it's up to him, right? So we do know, I would say that it was up to him to leave. The decision to leave The Walking Dead, he himself, Andrew Lincoln, that was his choice. I'm sure they would have preferred to have him stay in for Walking Dead for at least a few more years, before they would even ever consider killing Rick off, because it's just such a crazy, risky decision to kill Rick off in The Walking Dead. There's almost no way I think AMC would want to rock that boat and want to voluntarily do that until it absolutely came out. So it sounds to me like it was his choice to leave the series. Now, if he gets to pick, he's saying here the way in which he wants to go out is to leave. So that's pretty cool. So at least we know that if they gave the option to him, his decision would be to do the Lennie James approach and to do what they did with Morgan, where he gets to kind of go out that way and he gets to leave on some kind of journey, which a lot of people think is what we'll see with possibly the helicopter. Maybe somehow Maggie could be involved because we know that she's going to leave and the door will be left open for her to come back, according to what's been said by Lauren Cohen and the others, unless they're lying, right? Which you can never discount. You never know for sure. People could just tell you the wrong thing and then afterwards they just say, well, I wanted you to think that so you'd be surprised. And it's like, well, fair play. It's not like a personal lie. It's like they're saying it in order to keep the audience on their toes and then switch on them at the moment, so you get that surprise out of them, right? Kirkman's kind of done that sometimes, right? So with T-Dog and stuff like that. So, and some of the others have as well, too. And then it says, but I think what we have in store this season is truly remarkable. I'm very proud of the work that we've done. So it's unfortunate that even up to this point, with regards to the status of what we think, we still, can't come to terms on it. People are leaning more of the audience is leaning towards Rick leaving and not being killed off. But it's not a 90-10 or something. It's like a 60 something 40 something or 60 something 30 something. With regards to whether or not Rick will be killed off. So it's still, which is frustrating. And I hear that from you guys as well, too. And personally, I'm tired of kind of going over it because it's like, damn it, you just want to know. But we got to wait until October. And it could even be, by the time that episode rolls, it could even be November. We may just have to wait till November to see it for sure, to say for sure which one they went with. Is he killed, or does he in fact leave on a helicopter some other way and then leave the door open for him to return in a couple years if he decides to kind of come back? And you could read his Comic-Con interviews different ways. Some people are convinced he's saying he's leaving the series for good and he'll never be back. And there's no way he would go to Fear or they would do another spin-off or anything like that. That's what a lot of people tend to think. But then again, there's more people even on the other side who who want to believe or want to think that he could just leave. So that's all I got for that one. I don't know if it adds anything to the conversation that he's saying here that if he was given the choice, he would choose to leave and not be killed off. So I don't know, guys. Leave a comment. Does that do anything for you? Does that matter since it's his choice to leave the series? It's his choice to stop working on The Walking Dead. Do you think they would give him the opportunity to choose Rick's fate? Or do you think they would decide, okay, well, if you want off, we got to kill you? Or maybe we could have you leave and come back. What do you guys think? Do you think they would leave it up to him? Or do you think they would decide, no, okay, if you're not going to come back, we'll have to just kill you off, right? So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. John Uchiha Andrews says, Trev, did you hear in the latest issue of the Walking Dead comic book series, Kirkman said in the letter hacks that we probably won't see Negan anymore. So I did hear this one. This is referring to the comics. So with that, right now in the comic book series for The Walking Dead, Negan just isn't necessary to be in that story right now. He doesn't fit in the story. So do I think we'll see Negan again at some point? As long as the series runs long enough, in the comic book series version, I think we will see Negan at some point. The TV series is a totally different animal. So even if they do get to that point, which they may not even get enough seasons to get to the point where the comic is at right now, but if they did, it doesn't necessarily mean they would go down the same route with him because they are going to need people as point of view characters to lead the show, especially if Andrew Lincoln either leaves or is killed, right? And you can say the same for Chandler Riggs for Carl, right? Because he's gone too. That leaves a lot of open space there with the adaptation of the TV series and how they're going to take that forward. But so for the comics, that's what he's saying for right now. And I think for right now, I agree 100%. Do I think eventually he's going to want to bring Negan back in the story? How could you not bring him back? He's so much fun. He's so exciting. He's so, interesting to see and so funny and so entertaining. How could you not bring Negan back in the story at some point? You can have him go away for a little while. But, if he's gone, he's got to come back eventually. And that's the downside of having Rick leave, too, right? If Rick leaves, Andrew Lincoln has to agree to come back at some point later. So that's also a conversation piece right there. Is he killed off because he decided, okay, I'm done with the series. I'm never going to be in Walking Dead again. So kill me off and move on without me. My story is done. Or do you think that that they would give him what he wanted, what he's saying here, which is to leave and then eventually come back later? But if they did that, he would have to sign, I would think, to come back in such and such a year or do this spinoff or do whatever, that they would have to do with him after giving him a break for a while. So let me know about that one, too. What do you guys think about that? So my answer to you, John Uchiha, is that I think that Negan will return eventually, but it probably won't be for like 50 issues and won't be for a few years because there's no need for him right now. He doesn't fit into the story. But eventually I think he'll come back because he's too creatively interesting and entertaining to leave out there for good. Zeki says, what song do you think we'll play when Rick dies? I would love to hear Johnny Cash's Hurt. And that would be amazing, man. I would love to hear that. And it's also fun, too, because Johnny Cash's When the Man Comes Around was used in Dawn of the Dead, the remake, and it was fantastic. Like, it just, for some reason, Johnny Cash, he's amazing, right? He's probably one of the best musicians he was. Rest in peace, that whole thing. One of the greatest musicians of all time, I'd say. Because he doesn't need it. Like, he didn't even need it. Just give the guy a guitar, let him sing. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need like all the crazy bells and whistles. You don't need a computer, a $10,000 computer to mix it. You just give it. No, it's real simple. You just give it to him and let him take care of it, and he'll take care of the rest, right? So he was amazing. For some reason, his music really emotionally connects with people, and especially because you watch his music video. I mean, try watching that music video Hurt without, at least shedding a tear or crying at least a little bit. That would be amazing if they used Hurt for Rick's final sequence there, or did some kind of montage. That would be amazing to see. So I agree with you 100%. Zeki, that would be crazy. Wye Oak Civilian, that was kind of like a Shane song right in season 2. You could do like a throwback song or something like that. Or I don't know, man. Maybe maybe you do go with Cash. Maybe you do. That would be incredible. So, but we'll have to see how that whole thing goes down, and if he gets what he wants or not. And is that really what he wants? Because he's saying that here, but then if that's really what he wants, then he had to agree to come back later, and I don't know if he was willing to do that. So, speculation below. Let me know, guys, what do you think? And do you think Negan will return at some point in the future? Matt Wilson will be the last one for today's video, guys. He says, well, it's not like it could get any worse at this point, right? Right? For the Walking Dead TV series. It's like, I think it could get worse, because to be honest, and maybe it's just me, because I have different tastes than other people, and I think I'll admit this, All Out War probably went on a little too long. It probably did. But still, the way the seasons kind of roll around and what you have to do with it and how you had to make it like that whole season 8 or only part of it, and they need time to build sets and do the time skips and everything like that. So, it made sense for the way they did it and just how they had to adapt it to the TV series. But, I do think that we could see worse seasons than season 8 or season 7. I will say that. I think that, without Rick there, and how things are going to go here, I don't think season 7 or season 8 are the worst seasons you could get out of The Walking Dead. I really don't think so. I mean, I thought that there was lots of stuff they did, certainly action-wise. We'll probably never get more action in a season than we saw consistently throughout those episodes in season 8. The difference is that it was split up. It wasn't all in like the finale and the premiere or something. Like, for example, No Way Out was really crammed into one episode. Too Far Gone was crammed into one episode as well too. The fighting in All Out War was more spread out. But I'd say that the series probably could get worse than season 7 or 8. So it probably could. If they don't really work hard at it and they just kind of let it go or whatever, it's like, well, it could. So we'll see how season 9 turns out. But it should be better received, I think, than season 7 or season 8. For some reason, those two seasons were just like really not well received, and I don't think they were that bad in terms of quality. I felt like, at least in my opinion, I felt like the audience's response to those two seasons and the droppage in viewership was over. There's no word for this, but it was more than it probably should have been based on the quality of those seasons. Like, I didn't feel like those seasons were so bad that you deserve to lose half your audience, I didn't think they were that bad to the point where you would do that. I thought that they were like, okay, obviously there's some episodes of season 7 that in hindsight weren't as great as, some of the earlier seasons. But I at the same time, I'm like looking at season 8, I'm like, Rick was in almost all the episodes. The stuff between him and Negan was amazing. I don't know. But everyone has their own tastes, and that's just me. And obviously, most people don't agree with me. So I think it could get worse, Matt, and hopefully it doesn't. But we'll see what season 9 and 10, how they end up. That'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please, thumb up the video below, share, favorite, subscribe at the bottom left. If you're new, check out the preview special tomorrow night. And thank you guys for all your support throughout Comic-Con and all the videos recently, and the kind of more personal video yesterday. If you haven't checked out the Trev Stan 2 store yet, link will be in the description. You can check it out if you want to get a t-shirt, or, you can do that to support the channel if you want. I also have a Patreon, too. I'll link in the description below. That'll be it for this one, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. I'll see you soon.